Alrighty, hello everybody. I am sitting inside of my '03 CRV, and if you drive one of these, the second generation or the first generation, which was what, 96 through '01, you realize that of course the bulbs here in the instrument cluster and down here on the heater control are the old incandescent and very dim. So if you want to upgrade it, get a nice newer look and actually be able to see, that was my problem. I got bad eyesight and it's just too hard to see. You put all LEDs in up top here on the cluster and in the heater controls here, and it makes a big difference. Now, I'm sitting in the car during the daylight, and I'll go ahead and turn on the lights and you'll see, I don't know how well this is showing up during the day, but it makes quite a bit of difference. Now, every bulb in the second generation is on the instrument cluster is a 74 bulb, which is this one right here. You have the ones I use, you have one LED up top and then one on each side, and these are quite nice. You have about 10 of them in the back here. And so there's plenty of videos on YouTube of how to pull that cluster out. It's very simple. Just will take you a few minutes, as well as pulling out the air conditioning controls and the heater controls here. You know, pull this off and then take the screw in the back, take that off, and a couple screws up top. Real simple. So just check out one of the other videos. But you have about 10 bulbs, 74 size LEDs in the back for here. On this particular one, on the automatic transmission, you know, park, reverse, neutral, drive, I could not find LED replacements for those bulbs. Found the originals, but I could not. They don't make them, which is fine. I just left those with the incandescents, and also I left the turning signals in incandescent. I did put LEDs in there, but the wife complained that they were a little too bright, so I went back for the turn signals, just put the incandescents back in. But aside from that, everything else on the back of that is LEDs, and at night it's got a very, very nice look to it. You can see everything perfect. Now, why I'm making this video is on the heater air conditioning. It takes 1, 2, 3 Neo 4s up top when you pull this off, and 1, 2, 3 Neo 3s for these to light up. These light up very nice, these three, the Neo 3s on the bottom, but the top ones are kind of dim at night. So I've went ahead and kind of made a custom bulb, and I'll show you how I did that. And we'll use the Neo 4, Neo 4, Neo 4 with the custom bulbs, and it'll give it a brighter look. So anyway, we will show you what the bulbs are, how I made them, and what you can do if you want to brighten those up. Okay, here I am inside of my garage, my messy workbench. But for example, now here is a Neo 5 bulb. As you can see, they're very stubby. They don't protrude out very long. The original incandescents are about maybe an inch long, so I'm using one hand to hold the camera in the other hand, so bear with me on this. But the neat way to take these things apart is if you just this wire right here, just unravel it. It just loops, it comes in through the bottom and comes up and loops around. Just back it up, and on both sides, so you have that little hole right there, you have the wire protruding out. Then what you want to do is take a pair of needle nose and just right there, clamp it and pull it out. You know, you'll bust that LED, but that's no big deal. You're going to junk it anyways and just use the base. And so what I did, okay, now that's a 5. But for the '03 CRV, it doesn't take the 5 in the air conditioner, it takes 4s. And so here's how I made my custom. What I did was, after I removed the old LED, as you will see right here, let me find I'll use this drill bit. Once you pull it out, this 74 bulb will not fit in there. It's just a little too big. So what you want to do is take a drill and a bit and just ream that hole out. Right here, just drilling up against the side and both sides, and if you just keep going at the plastic, you'll widen the hole big enough to be able to fit that 74 down in. And so what I did was, I took the 74, I put the flux, I put a little bit of solder on there, and then bought this this wiring, the perfect size, the exact same size that the original came in, and I just soldered on about 1.5 to 2 inches on each lead on each side. And then once you've got them soldered, feed it through both ends through the back holes, and then just wrap the wire around like the original. And then once it's in there, the wire should hold it fairly nice and tight. And then what I did is I got some epoxy, and very gently got a goop of it on a toothpick and put some epoxy, slip some epoxy right down on both sides and let it dry. And that's holding the bulb real tight, and it's not going to move. And I tested them and they work perfectly. So the 03 CRV, it'll take, in the HVAC, it'll take 3 of those Neo 4s. Now the Neo 3s on the bottom ones, I didn't even try those because they work good. You can see it's plenty bright. So they probably wouldn't work with these 74 bulbs because they're probably just too big. But they will work on the Neo 4s. And now for my daughter's first generation CRV and her heater controls, it takes 2 of these Neo 5s. So that's what I did. I did the exact same procedure with these. I pulled the original out, and I soldered them and put these in there. And these you didn't have to ream anything because there's enough room in there. The bulb will sit right in there perfectly, and then I just threw some epoxy in there, and it's holding just tight. So I'm going to do her heater control as well. And so those will work really good. So hopefully when I get it all done, when I get these put into mine, I'll take a video of how it looks. Okay, here I am back inside of the car, and it literally took me 5 minutes to take that piece out, take the other piece that sits right here, and then to disconnect the heater control knobs, heater AC. As you can see, I like this radio I bought about 6-7 years ago. I don't think they make it anymore, but it's made by Clarion. And I liked it because it looks like it's an OEM radio, you know, the round knobs and everything. It looks like it fit right in from the factory, but it's obviously aftermarket, and it's really nice. 1,000 times better than the radio that came with this thing back in the day. But at any rate, so once you get this all apart, and here's the back of the heater unit, the AC unit. There's like 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's another one. There's about 6 of them all the way around. You'll see them. Get those off, and that's how you get back to the bulbs to be able to replace them. Again, I didn't go through these steps because there's quite a few videos out there on YouTube to how to pull this stuff apart, so they're easy access. Okay, let me go ahead and pull it apart and put the bulbs in. Well, here's the back of the heating AC unit, and here are the 3 Neo 4 bulbs. And here are the 3 Neo 3 bulbs. Again, I'm going to leave the 3s in place because they work fine. They light it up just fine. It's these 4s that are a little bit lacking in light. So I'm going to go ahead and switch those out. And again, I am using 74 bulbs in this custom base. The bulbs I bought are from a company called WLJH. Just bought them on Amazon. They seem to be pretty decent bulbs. Okay, as you see here, I got the 3 Neo 4s in. And just to correct something, a minute ago I mentioned the LED bulbs, or the bulbs. They're not bulbs, actually. Strictly LED. So just to clarify that. Okay, I'm going to put it back together now and we'll test it out. Okay, here I am with it all kind of put back into place, so to speak. And I'm very happy with the way it turned out. As you see, the bottom, the Neo 3s and the Neo 4s match really well. Everything's lit up perfectly, equally, I should say. Because like I said before, with the Neo 3 was a lot brighter than this back Neo 4 with that other just the stubby bulb. And with this new configuration, we have a very nice, even look to it. I'm very happy with it. So once again, just to recap, if you're going to do your second generation, the bottom bulbs on the heater, Neo 3s, there's 3 of them. The upper bulbs are a Neo 4 with my custom configuration. And on the dashboard, you have about 10 74 bulbs. Like I said, with this one, I could not find any custom, or I should say custom, but I just could not find any replacement LEDs for the park, reverse, neutral, drive, automatic transmission. So I just kept the regular incandescents, and I just kept the incandescents for the blinkers. But everything else back here is all LED. And at night, this lights up very, very nice. Everything can see perfectly. Looks like a brand new car. And now it's gonna, if you're working on the first generation, again, it all takes 74 bulbs, except there's one kind of in the middle here on a first generation. It takes a 194 LED bulb. There's one of those, and the rest are 74s. And on the HVAC for the first generation, it just has 2 Neo 5s. And like I said, I customized the other Neo 5s in the garage, and I'm going to put those in my daughter's car. She's got the first generation. Okay, well, I hope this helps. I hope this helps you if you have either a first or second generation and you want to give it an updated, fresh look. I hope this helps you. And if you do this, leave some comments in the comments section. I'd love to hear how your car turned out. Okay,